So from the title of the video, I want to talk about the Packers' first pick in the 2020 draft. There is still two more nights. We got tonight, what is it, Friday, and then Saturday. And then I think, what is it? I think it goes up to six. 4, 5, and 6 are not broadcasted, I believe. Or, well, they aren't, but I believe that is Sunday. Or I forget when 4, 5, and 6 really take place, but I I slept on it, really thinking about it, really trying to be unbiased about it, really trying to think future and present, um, and you know I don't hate Jordan Love. He seems like he's going to be pretty decent behind a good QB, but to trade up, I don't know if I would have traded up for a QB. Obviously, was it Justin Jefferson? I believe was still in there at. I think the Vikings took him at 20. I mean, Packers could have traded up to 20. Um, I would have been fine with Queen. There, there's another receiver I can't remember. I didn't pay too much attention to like who's getting drafted and whatnot. Obviously, I knew like Joe Burrow, Tua, Chase Young, top guys who were gonna get picked. Um, but I didn't really focus, below top 5, below top 10. But anyway, I, I don't know how to feel about it. Um, I feel like, well, okay. Let me start out with this. So I had the Packers picking a QB next year in the 2021 draft because I figured Rodgers is he has 4 years left on his contract, so I figured you know we have one more year right now of building a team right now that's capable of going to the Super Bowl, stacked right now, and then we take next year, we groom a QB, we fix up that defense a little bit because obviously we still need a run defense. Our run defense just did nothing against top teams like San Francisco. Um, we struggled there, uh, and we take next year, look to the future. Rodgers starts winding down. On his contract, at least. I don't know if he's gonna extend, if he's gonna sign a new one. I'm well, it's the same thing. Uh, he said he wants to play his whole career in Green Bay. Um, so I don't know how long that is. His deal, he turns 40 when his deal is up. So is he going to sign another 5-year contract? I don't know if he's going to take as much money. Um, but, I mean, he's happy in Green Bay. He's content in Green Bay. He wants to play for Green Bay. Um, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. No one can see the future. Again, we have 4 years, and then we don't know what Rodgers is going to do after that. So, you know, I just I don't know what to think about Jordan Love because if Rodgers extends, then he's just gonna sit there, and then we're gonna just trade him for like a fourth or a fifth or whatever. We did trade a fourth to get up. We traded our first round to move up 4 spots, and then we traded a fourth to Miami. Again, I don't know if I would have done that this year. We have a big need for wide receivers. Obviously, we have Devontae at number 1, and then we don't know who really 2. We don't have a definite 2 out there. And then again, like I said, that defense, we were bad stopping that run defense last year. Um, and there's a couple more things on defense I feel like that could be cleaned up. Add a couple young players. Because I mean we got young corners for the most part. Obviously Tramon Williams. Um, I don't know if it's just like a 1 or 2 year deal. I don't know how long he's sticking around. I think he's 39 or 40, I believe. So he's not. Well, he might uh, sign like one more deal with the Packers and then retire or go on. I don't know. I don't see Tramon Williams staying around for like 10 years or something. But like Jai Alexander, King, we got young cornerbacks, we got young people back there. Darnell Savage, um, Rashawn Gary is still young. Uh, and then we got some veterans, the Smith Bros, obviously, Kenny Clark, which I hope they pay Kenny Clark. If they do not pay Kenny Clark next year, I'm going to be mad. He has been a game changer for us. So, I mean, there's things we could have worked on besides a QB right now. Uh, I don't know how Rodgers is feeling. I do know this is split, Packers fans on if it's good, if it's bad. I I don't I don't hate the man, but I don't agree with the idea of going a QB first round. Um, uh, we don't know what the situation is next year for a QB, next 2 years, 3 years, the year Rodgers' contract's up. We don't know. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence he's going to go probably first overall next year. Um, but besides that, we don't really know. Uh, so I get it. I mean, looking at the future, I do get it. Um, Especially because we don't know what's coming out next year, next couple of years out of college. But I feel like you got to take risks. I feel like you got to take more chances. Uh, I think we could have traded up to 20 for Justin Jefferson, which by the way, the Vikings got a steal. I think they probably won the first round, honestly. Um, with that, they basically got their replacement for Diggs right away, fresh, young. So, but I mean, we could have traded up to 20, taken him there because he was falling. If uh, if Vikings didn't take him, Saints might have, Baltimore might have. But again, those were like I think it was like 24 and 25 or something like that. They were. So we could have traded up into like 21, 22, 20 if the Vikings didn't take him. But I don't think it was a good idea to trade up. Obviously, there was talks that the Colts wanted him, but the Colts need one. The Colts need a QB. Jacoby Brissett, he didn't play terrible last year. He started off really good. But I think he's more so of a backup, like Nick Foles, who is now going to start in Chicago. So Chicago fans are hyping him up like they forgot that he played in Jacksonville. He did terrible in Jacksonville. He had one good year with Philly. Uh, I don't expect Super Bowl contender right away next year for Chicago. It's pointless. Um, he's an average QB. He's a backup for a reason, um, and that's why I think Jacoby Brissett is too. But I don't think they would start if Indy took him. I don't think they would have started Jordan Love right away. I think it would have probably middle of the year, like Daniel Jones this past year took over for Eli. Sat behind him for I think it was 7 weeks or something like that. So Jordan Love is not going to be starting unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Unless there's a big disagreement and Aaron Rodgers wants out next year, Jordan Love is not going to start at all. Not next year, not the year after, probably not until Rodgers leaves. And if Rodgers extends, then they're going to trade him, and then it was just a waste. I mean, he's going to sit behind Rodgers and learn. he didn't have terrible stats. Obviously, his last year in college, he had a new offensive lineman. I think it was 9 offensive players in total new that he had that were transferred or whatever his senior year. So he threw a lot of interceptions, but it wasn't really all his fault because again, 9 new players is a lot. Um, so, uh, you know, I get I get liking him, I get defending him, but there's also that Rodgers still has 4 years on his contract. We were 1 game away from the Super Bowl. We had a rookie head coach, new scheme. Rodgers had to learn the new scheme. Everyone had to learn the new scheme, and they made it to the NFC Championship year 1 with Matt LaFleur. I feel like you got to give more time for that, for Rodgers, for that offense. Um, Obviously, Mike Pettine's been there before. There's back and forth about him. He's a whole nother topic. Um, but, give LaFleur credit. I mean, he's been with a lot of good QBs. Um, Obviously, he was with Matt Ryan the year Matt Ryan was at 2016, I think. I think he won MVP. And Matt LaFleur was the offensive coach that year for Matt Ryan. And then again, they made it to the NFC Championship with a rookie head coach. We got outplayed by San Francisco all the way. We didn't have the weapons to contain their offense. We could not stop them on defense. Stop them from getting to the quarterback. Rushing Rodgers and all that. So I mean, I think there's a whole lot of better options out there. We'll see what happens with Love if he gets traded. It was a total waste. Looking back, if he does, it's a big waste. But this whole thing happened when Rodgers was drafted in 2005, I believe it was. I was young, but I remember Green Bay, the city of Green Bay, was just. They were really upset about that. You could just feel the tension in the air. So I get being mad. I get defending him. But again, I'm going to say it one more time. We're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. 1. If you could even say we're like 3/4 or something. I don't like. We were putting up a fight to the end. And you give us good, young defensive players to put out there. You give Rodgers another weapon. We don't need a running back. We got a 2-headed monster in the backfield. Jamal Williams, and Aaron Jones. They are good. Obviously, Aaron Jones either tied the record or broke the record for Packers touchdowns in a season, which is crazy. Which I think was it the 90s. I think I forget who the running back was, but it's been a while. It's been like 20 years or something like that. So we're good with a running back. We're coming up on contract years for our O-line. But if you give Rodgers some more weapons, more receivers out there, I think this could turn around. I think we could hit the Super Bowl next year. I would love a Patrick Mahomes and Rodgers game in the Super Bowl. Obviously, that was close to happening. We were 1 game away, and then week 8 when Mahomes was hurt. So it would be fun to see them duel in the biggest stage of them all, or even in the regular season. I don't think we played the Chiefs in the regular season this year, as far as I remember. So I don't know. I can't defend them, but I don't want to fully hate them. I don't want to be biased and say terrible, terrible, terrible. Yes, it was bad, but I get grooming a QB. Like I said, I'm not super mad because I was the way I saw it, I thought we are gonna do one more year of stack this year, and then next year we looked at the future, draft the QB next year. So I guess it's just a year ahead. But I got nothing else. So I'm gonna wrap it up. This is wow. We're already 15 minutes into this. Again, it's just there's a lot to talk about here because there's so much frustration. There's people defending him. Again, we don't hate Jordan Love. We're not directing it at Jordan Love. This is not at him. This is not we hate you because you're a person. Blah blah blah. We're mad at Goody, at the Packers organization for doing this. We don't. Jordan Love has been put in a bad situation here, and you can't really. I mean, when you're in his situation, what do you do? I mean, it's bad. I think he's going to handle it with class, though. So, I mean, it's just we don't agree with the organization, but we don't want this directed at Jordan Love. He seems like he has potential. If he sits behind a great like Drew Brees, Rodgers, Brady, top tier QBs, he's gonna be groomed into a good QB. I just hope that this wasn't a bust. I hope we don't trade him 2 years down the line. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel like this gives Rodgers a little spark because he went out about a month ago and said, whoever you bring in, they're not going to beat me. So we'll see. I might make another follow-up video about this later on. I don't know. But I'm going to get on here. We're already 17 and a half minutes in. Like the video. Share the video around. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, don't hate Jordan Love. It's not his fault. He didn't say, I want to go to Green Bay, draft me. I'll pay you money to draft me or whatever. He didn't do crap like that. The Packers drafted him. The organization, Goody, drafted him. So, I'm going to get out of here. Peace. Oh, that's